opening choices. And now the bishop does come to d3, the rook is kicked back, but as David and Judah have been highlighting, white is simply material up with a great position and to boot.
And Anish looks away from the board in disgust, not liking what he's done. Even if Magnus didn't have the extra e3 pawn, I think he would still be a big favourite in this game, just because white has full control. Bishop pair, white just needs to get organised.
Knows it exactly that things are not going well. To have such a position against Magnus, pawn down, bishop pair, he's going to be playing king f2, I think, simply, and eventually e4. I had some bad experience against Magnus back in Vacancy. Some
similar
I didn't
lines.
have a pawn up, but just the position was not good.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Judah, you mentioned the strategy, getting the queens off as early as possible. It works against most people, but against Magnus, maybe one of the exceptions. He loves these types of positions as well, when there's no risk, no complications, just slowly improving. The extra pawn, just a bonus. Extra 3 minutes also can't hurt for Magnus Carlsen. I think it would be a bigger shock of the tournament if Magnus didn't convert the advantage from here. Giri looking away again. He's got his pieces on nice squares, but they can go no further.
You can see how annoyed he is with the position having on the board.
Yeah, and it's maybe a new experience for Giri. It's rare to see him kind of lost out of the opening ever, let alone kind of after 15, 20 moves. Disaster, and Magnus just taking his time. He'll improve the white rook on h1. He'll start playing moves like h4. First he lines up. At some point he might play a4, b3, kick away the black knight from c4. And black will have no more counterplay.
Well, black will have some tiny hope in the fact that Magnus is in a must-win situation. So if Magnus for some reason squanders away his advantage, then okay, it's okay. But okay, well, Anish cementing his knight on c4. This is good strategy. It's very difficult to recommend anything for Anish other than just to make his pieces better and just hope for the best. I realize that hope is not a great plan in general.
It's the hope that kills you.
But still, it's something.
Yeah, and some small threats. Knight takes b2 occasionally in the air. The black knight hopping out the way. But yeah, it's the type of position you just have to play annoying moves. That's what I try and do in Blitz when things are going wrong, but your opponent doesn't have too much time. Just confuse them, or at least block their plans until they get frustrated. That's the only hope now. You can see on the camera, I've never seen Anish this devastated, this annoyed at himself before.
Yeah, because it's just after 10 moves or so, it was obvious that he's going to go behind the material.
He's picked up the bishop. Oh,
fumbling the pieces, Anish. We see a trade there. White's knight has a beautiful square on c3 now. What is Magnus's plan? He just bypasses the pawn. Wow, trying to create a passed b pawn. If black doesn't capture en passant now, then white's knight will sit on c3 forever with a nice blockade. We see a trade. Opposite colour bishops at least, but small solace. Still a pawn up. Okay, everything coming off the board.
Well, Magnus certainly has his eyes on the b6 pawn. It's now time for the bishop to get into the game, perhaps retreat to d7, support the advance of the b pawn, but nope, he's pushed his h pawn. And they always say when you're struggling, exchange pawns, sorry.
The problem for Anish is that he's simply lost another pawn now. If the black knight takes back on h5, white has bishop c7 and the black b pawn drops. The second issue is even if he goes defensive and defends his b pawn, he's going to be tied up, paralyzed, immobilized forever. This one's over. And you can see sad move, king h7.
And e4 will be coming.
Yep. Magnus first improving his king. Why not?
Defends the pawn. No.
And that's it. Anish has had enough. And Magnus takes the Armageddon point and therefore picks up 1.5 points. For Anish, it is a bad day at the office. And he loses.
Yeah, Magnus's 4th Armageddon win out of 5 rounds so far, but still not enough to get close to the lead. Magnus needs to up his game in classical, but looking smooth so far in the Armageddon.
And